From St. Cloud, Florida, this is the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Deep in the heart of Florida, one station gets it. That's us, by the way.
Welcome to the Doc Show, Coast to Coast.
Biggest problem is his ego.
I cannot reveal my identity.
Got a head bigger than a basketball.
Powered by the cold beer in St. Cloud.
They fully intend to pay for this.
We've got a great talk show Monday through Friday.
This is nothing but shameless self-promotion. It's a very bad taste.
I know.
Weeknights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
Trying to be the best we can, just for you.
Well, all right. Just as long as it's tasteful and understated.
And if we fail, too bad. We like it.
Give Doc a call, 407-498-3193.
Here's another hit.
Your mother's ass!
What do you get when you cross a highly outspoken individual with the power of radio?
And I'm not a corporate douche.
You don't know that, son. You're hoping that.
Well, you still get the highly outspoken Doc.
The term Doc Show.
Often imitated, never quite duplicated.
We're your best friends in the whole wide world, so you better like it or we'll beat you up.
This is the Doc Show, Coast to Coast, with Doc Holliday.
All right. Calm down, everybody. Hey, today's the 8th day of January.
Elvis's birthday.
2018.
We didn't play any Elvis.
We're,
Well, he was on Skid Row for a while, so there you go.
where was, what year was Elvis born in?
Well, let's see. He was 42 when he died in 77. So
That's over
30,
40.
35,
Really?
1935.
Well, he...
Yeah, you're right
Yeah.
You're right there. You know,
Yeah. Nice Archie Bunker there. Yeah. You're right there, Edith. Yeah.
telling you there. And of course, there are people that worship Elvis that will insist to you to this day. I gave up in the 1980s. I said, that big old dude is dead.
Yeah.
But there was so much. Actually, there was a lot of hidden evidence. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it was planted by, Priscilla and all the moneymakers of, Elvis's. That place in Memphis makes a ton of cash. And it's almost like, where's Waldo? Where's Elvis? And they'd have spottings.
Yeah, right.
Probably for about 2 years in the 80s when I went.
Bagging groceries at the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah. That's what people would say.
Yeah, I've heard the stories, yeah.
People would actually show up dressed in Elvis wigs. Have regular clothing on.
Yeah.
But their hair would be in that, the DA stance.
Thank you very much.
And then they would do whatever it was, and people would say, Elvis came in today and bought a People magazine.
Are you sure it was him? Yes, he had a big turd hanging out of his butt.
Oh, my God. Seriously, you guys.
Well, that's what killed him. I mean...
Come on. You cannot dispute the evidence.
What is it? Every time you come in?
Oh, no, I
you
just
gotta
remember.
talk about this?
No, I just remember
Died
stuff.
of constipation?
I just remember stuff. I'm sorry.
You just remember stuff. Stop remembering
Call
some
back.
stuff.
Sam, callback is the greatest tool of comedy.
Yeah.
It's an awesome tool.
Hey, he was a hunk of burning love.
He was.
It was a hunk of burning turd.
And Elvis went down.
Oh, yeah.
Elvis, there have been days, I understand. All right, 34 minutes past the hour. What is your epiphany?
It's my chair. What's your epiphany?
Yeah. Oh, the epiphany. So you know the epiphany is when you celebrate Three Kings Day, right?
So when you celebrate what?
Three Kings Day.
Okay.
When the three kings finally got to Jesus, right?
Yeah, 2 years later.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So we know they weren't there when he was born.
Right.
But Christians typically believe, a couple of days later.
Y'all believe anything.
Catholics believe on the 12th day is when they showed up. I don't know that we really believe it was on the 12th day as much as that's what we acknowledge.
They did not make it from China to Jerusalem on a camel in 12 friggin'
but we
days.
also know that there was no snow when Jesus was born, and he probably wasn't born in December. It was a day that the Christian community decided to get together and concur with.
Could have been a motorized camel that floated.
Anyway.
You never know.
Anyway, so you got to sometimes make concessions. Idiots.
Not the floating camels.
The floating camels. That's how they got over
That's
here.
a great band name right there.
It really is.
Floating camels.
Another T-shirt.
Yeah. We are pro floating camels.
Pro floating
We
camels.
love the floating camels.
So anyway.
Oh, sorry.
So anyway.
Yeah.
So in the Catholic tradition, this was our last week of the Christmas season, if you will. Now we go to ordinary time next Sunday.
No.
But so we celebrate Christmas up until the Three Kings get there. And on Three Kings Day, it's the Feast of the Epiphany. Well, in the Italian and Hispanic cultures, it's like a big to-do. Like, it's another Christmas. It's like a mini Christmas. And my mom and my family, you know, me, my mom, my brother, you know, growing up, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. So we grew up in an Italian-Irish neighborhood, so we kind of took on traditions of those cultures as well because everybody else celebrated it. So what the hell? We might as well join in on the fun, right?
Right.
So anyway, so today in the mail, I was surprised. My mom sent me, she called it a little Christmas gift because Italians call it Little Christmas, where the Spanish people call it Three Kings Day or El Dia de Reyes. But so in Italy, Italian Americans call it Little Christmas, and it was a soda stream. A soda stream. I can make my own seltzer and soda now.
You're right. You're way more excited about that than we are.
Yeah,
I know. I was so excited though because I don't have to lug my seltzer bottles now.
I am
So we're
so happy for
now, did you invent this?
No, my mom bought it for me.
Where's the Epiphany then?
This is
No, Epiphany is a celebration.
That's the feast day. That's the name of the feast day.
No, when you have an epiphany, it's when all of a
I know
sudden,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what
Bam!
yes, I know. That's
Something
that
hits
too.
you in the head.
That
Right.
too. But this is the thing that you see Jillian Michaels on TV where she makes her own soda drinks.
Oh, I'm so proud of her. So let me ask you
So
something.
listen.
What? She is the prettiest man. Yeah. Julian Michael. She's the prettiest guy ever. Hey, let me.
She's rough looking.
So when is that's nice. I got some spray in my ear.
It doesn't come through the mic.
Yeah, whatever. 220, 221.
Anyway.
So when does the 12 days of Christmas actually happen? Leading up to or from Christmas on?
So no, it's from Christmas on.
Explain it to us, Lucy.
So midnight on Christmas is when obviously Christmas Day officially
And
is.
you did it now.
So then 12 days later is when the
After.
Christmas season ends. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We
And
don't
then-
do it before. Before is Advent.
Right. Okay.
That's usually 4 weeks. I say usually.
Advent, Christmas, Epiphany. and
We're
then
done.
we go
Ordinary
back-
time.
We go back to
Ordinary
Fistin.
time. Ordinary time until Lent. Until
Now, hold on.
Lent,
Tom,
yeah.
hold
Ash
on.
Ash Wednesday.
we have 37 days until Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Are you saying that ordinary time, like Eastern Daylight, and throw the clock back or throw the clock forward?
Well, we don't change time in the church.
No.
But it just means that there's no
longer a celebration for the
there's-
season.
Correct. There's no longer a seasonal focus. Correct.
So where does
That's
time?
pretty good for somebody who. Were you Catholic at one point?
Maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't want to admit it.
I was raised in a hybrid home.
Okay.
My mom.
Because most people don't know that stuff. They look at me like I got cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
My mom raised us Catholic. I actually went to Catholic school for 2 years. I was in Catholic school.
Were you an altar boy?
No, I didn't like to be touched that much. But I was in first grade in Catholic school the day JFK was shot.
Really?
And I still remember that to this day.
Wow.
You know, people talk about where were you when this happened. I remember getting out of school
When the
early,
Challenger exploded.
crying and nuns
That was
crying and
us.
stuff. Oh, really? That was
Yeah,
your
I was in.
your big
That was
event?
my big event. Challenger exploded.
That was in 85?
Yeah.
No, it was January 28th, 1986.
Okay.
Because I was on the air when that happened.
I was probably second or third grade.
It was 11:13 in the morning.
Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah,
crazy. That was when we had TVs in the classroom, and you had to like turn on the TV.
That's
and hope
how
that it came
we
into
found
tune.
out about it. They had just stuck a TV in the studio because we kept saying, there's stuff going on.
Now, where were you for this?
That was in Nashville, Tennessee.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Nashville. A lot of people don't like it. They think it's hillbilly. But that's where
Nashville's a great town.
That's where that came from right there.
The lamp?
The Doc Holliday.
It might have come from Nashville, probably China though.
The Doc Holliday Saloon.
Yeah, okay.
No, I've seen it. I've been there.
Okay, I believe you.
And
It's like, calm down. It's going to be okay.
I've been to Howling Wolves in New Orleans, which is also a saloon.
That's great.
Howlin' Wolf was a big blues guy, But anyway, go back to your story.
No, I don't have a story. I do have something, though.
Yeah, so I wanted to share.
Oh,
Thank
wait.
you, Mom, to my soda stream. Yes. You had a question.
No, I was just telling you.
Yes.
My mom was raised as Catholic.
Ah.
My dad was Pentecostal.
Oh, that's a big difference.
A huge contrast.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
And I could see why those people were so
Pentecostals
so
are...
spiritual. The Pentecostals were, because I went to church there, and quite honestly, it scared the hell out of me.
I'll be honest with you. I have a story about this. So I have a friend who, at one point,
I have a friend.
She went to. That's great.
I had one.
Yeah,
She
well,
went to a
I'm here for you,
Pentecostal
Doc.
church too.
Is it Gloria?
No.
Wow, you've
Gloria's
got two
Catholic.
friends. Okay.
Gloria's Catholic. This is my friend Natasha. She's not Catholic. She was when she was a kid, and then she found some. God bless her.
She found
Christ
She found
again.
some weed.
God bless
and
her.
she smoked it.
She laughs about it now because she realizes how insane it is, but she's still a little bit into the Pentecost. But she heard Benny Hinn and he saved her.
Benny Hinn? No, I can't even take her
Anyway.
seriously.
Anyway, I
Wait, she was
messed with
saved
her.
at a Japanese restaurant?
That's Benny
That's Benihana.
Oh, my bad.
Anyway,
My
It's
bad.
okay. I mean, I've done that before.
I tell her all the time. I was like, I cannot believe you told me this, but anyway, so she doesn't believe that Benny Hinn knows his stuff anymore. But
Oh.
Well, that's because he got caught
Yeah.
with his hand in the jar.
but I kind of mocked her a little bit, and that's not very very nice. But anyway,
You mocked her?
I mocked her. That's not very
mocked.
nice. But it's okay. She's one of my very good friends now, and she tends to flock to the Pentecostal more so in the past than now. But she does, and one day, her mama yelled at her because, in the Pentecostal church, they believe that tongues just a fly,
Right.
that people speak
Right.
tongues, and it's like they don't. They forget the biblical principle that somebody in the room has to understand you, and that it's a very rare occurrence.
Yeah, they do it like they're ordering a Whopper.
Yes,
At the
yes.
drive-thru.
So she knew. She had a feeling that this one girl was like kind of off her rocker.
Mm-hmm.
So she started. Her mama hit her because her mama knew. She said, "I wanted to call her out." So I said the spirit was coming about me. I said, "What'd you do?" She said, "I went down, bowed my head, and said, 'Mama say, Mama sa, Mama maku sa.'" I said, "No, you didn't." She said, "My mother slapped me."
What the hell is that?
From Michael Jackson, "Mama say, Mama sa, Mama maku sa, Mama say, Mama maku sa." She sure did. She sure did. Her mom said, "You ain't coming back to this church with me."
That's just wrong. That's kind of wrong. I gotta
But
say.
she's kind of toned it down a bit. But yes, Pentecostals are very charismatic and very.
I love them personally.
I've got nothing. I've
Yeah.
got nothing. Everybody,
You got to find
people
your
have their
niche.
own thing.
You got to find your
And-
niche.
And whatever it is that makes you happy, brings you peace.
You love
You know.
God. I'm okay with you.
Yeah.
This is the way I look at it. if you don't blow up somebody and you don't drive a car into a crowd of people and kill people because of your alleged religion, you're okay with me.
Well, there you go.
So that leaves Muslims out of the picture.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't have you around.
Plus, they don't like bacon.
Yeah, I know
Who doesn't like bacon,
doesn't like
right?
bacon?
Seriously, you kind of like bacon.
You gotta drive them away. As a matter of fact, there was in New York. They had I read the New York Post. You get little stories.
Yeah.
And one Muslim neighborhood petitioned a small deli that serves, eggs, bacon, and sandwiches and stuff. And in the morning when they were up praying, they could smell the bacon, and they were getting sick.
Oh.
And so the, it was a
What were you
popular little place.
Were they praying on the sidewalk?
No, they pray. They at the break of dawn, they get out their little Hare Krishna.
Wow. There's a cross culture.
Wow.
To me, a Hare Krishna was always a Muslim, and
I don't even.
they get like 3 on it, and then they stick their head down, and then one of them was like, "I don't like the way it smells around here. What is that? What is that smell?" And they actually petitioned the idiot mayor of New York.
DeBozo.
Yeah, de
Blasio. Worst mayor ever that we know about. There's been a lot of bad mayors. But as far as what we know about, Bill de Blasio, worst mayor. So Bill brought it up at a city council meeting and tried to have the thing demolished. And it turned out that the people backed up.
Right.
Thank God. But because you got to figure, this is New York.
Mm-hmm.
We know there's Italian zones.
Right.
We know there's the Abe Lincoln overpass. What the hell are those?
Why are you sticking your finger at me?
Hasidic Jews.
Look at this. Yes.
Yeah.
Where they walk around and they look like Abe Lincoln.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I was
I'm like, what?
on my way to Shea Stadium
Abe Lincoln overpass. What the hell?
as we'd go right through the middle of Hasidic Jew town.
Flushing.
Yeah.
Flushing, New York is very Jewish.
Yeah, maybe it was Flushing. It wasn't far from Shea Stadium.
It can be Jewish.
I used to open up the window and go, "Don't go to the theater. Whatever you do, the movie's it sucks."
Besides that, how did you like the movie, Mrs. Lincoln?
Seriously.
And then I rolled my window up. I thought I was the funniest damn thing I ever.
And they were just going to throw bagels at you.
They were. I don't think they got it.
He could only get so lucky.
Don't go to the movie theater. And I'm going, okay, you look like Lincoln. That's how Lincoln died. And they would always have that, the crazy white people. And speaking of epiphanies.
Yes.
Don't get all pissed off at me. Don't go running around talking to your mama, telling your friends not to listen to the show. But the University of Central Florida.
Oh, here we go.
Did not
Here we go.
win the national championship of college football. You can make believe all you want, and you know what it does? It makes you look silly. Okay? Yeah, they were 13-0. You don't see that ever. But they played one extra game. Yeah, they kicked the crap out of Auburn.
Oh, man.
No question about it.
Yeah.
So they won their conference. They won their bowl game. And believe it or not, well, it's Disney, so they knew it would make them money. They had a parade. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Disney, yeah.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday, a parade for the national champion University of Central Florida Knights. And they were out there. Now, people are kind of stupid. It's kind of like people who are going to vote for Oprah. Please, God, don't let her win. Please. We just got our breath from 8 years of being called racist and this and ists, and we hate everybody. And she is an extreme left wing, just like Obama. And she sympathizes with Islam. We don't need it.
Right.
Because if you don't like... Okay, look at the things that have been said about Donald Trump in 1 year.
Right.
Just think in your mind the stuff that's been said in mainstream media. And the fact that you got people in Congress, Democrats, and yeah, he's unstable. We're looking up Article 25. As a matter of fact, it's 25 or 23. The articles of impeachment. We all think he's out here someplace here. And imagine if Oprah wins.
Mm-hmm.
She goes out, beats Trump. She could. I mean, if you want to go on popularity scales, she could beat him. If you want to go on normal people's thinking, then the way we think as a country, where our stock prices have gone through the roof and people are starting to get jobs, and it's looking good, you'd vote for Trump. But no, because let's just say people of a certain color and sex and you just name it, they still don't believe that Donald Trump won the presidency. It's kind of like the kids over at UCF who actually believe they won a national championship when you didn't even come close.
Okay, can I chime in for a second on this? for just a moment.
Sure.
Okay. So, I agree. They are not the national champions. Okay, that game is being played within the next
Right
7
now.
minutes, right? Is it right now?
Started
Right
at 8
now.
o'clock.
So,
I think Georgia's up.
Oh, no.
I agree with you guys. Well, I don't know if Elmo agrees, but I agree with Doc. However, the conversation that they're pushing about the undefeated, I think it needs to be had, because I think the college football playoffs need to be revamped, if you will.
Look, we just got the damn playoffs. Stop messing with them.
Yeah, what is it, 4 years now?
We've only had it 4
But
years.
but how is it fair that some of these schools that have undefeated seasons don't get an opportunity to go to the national championship because of a different conference that they're in?
And you just said it. Because if you look at UCF's schedule, all right, they played 4 tough teams. 4. That's it. The rest of the teams that they played
But you don't know how they would have played against those other teams. It's all speculation.
were all shit teams. Like Macon,
But again,
Valdosta. They played crappy
but it's all
second division schools.
But it's all speculation that they couldn't beat these better schools.
But there's
you
a
don't know that.
formula, and it's called strength of schedule.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Then they're forcing the conversation to be had that they can handle a tougher schedule. And if they,
well, then it's up to the school to go ahead.
I mean, look, they're putting their money where their mouth is. The school cut a check. They cut checks to Scott Frost and all of the team coaches for championship bonuses. So they put their money where their mouth is. They're having the conversation. They're putting it out there like, hey, we're the University of Central Florida. We're a force to be reckoned with. We're the best, football school right now in the state of Florida, if you think about it.
Right.
I mean,
no doubt.
You got to give them that. The Gators didn't make it. FSU, they didn't. They didn't win their bowl, did they?
Yes, they won their bowl, and Miami started off 10-0. You people are chokers. I think that UCF should have been ranked ahead of Miami.
That's the point. They're forcing the conversation to be had. I agree with you. They are not the national champions. The national champions will be decided tonight.
And,
I get that.
I have 0-0 right now.
You get 0-0?
Yeah, it's showing it's toward the end of the first quarter.
But for all those people that said that Auburn didn't show up, you know what? I don't want to hear that. That's shoulda, coulda, woulda. You don't know that.
Sure.
You don't know that. You could sit there and say, maybe they did think it was going to be an easy game. But when they didn't see that it was going to be an easy game, you're going to tell me that a school like Auburn couldn't adjust their game plan?
You're going to tell me a school like Auburn didn't show up. You are calling your school quitters. Mm-hmm. Quitters.
That's number one.
Losers. Slack jaws.
The bottom line is you didn't win. The scoreboard said you didn't win. I don't want to hear UCF almost lost. What does the scoreboard say? They won. They had an undefeated season. They're having celebrations here locally. Look, locally, let them have their celebration. It's our university here locally, Let these kids have a team that they can be proud of. The basketball team is doing phenomenal this season as well. I mean, it's early in the season, but kudos to them. I hate to say it, but if we can get our sports program up and running and winning, it's going to bring a lot to this town.
Oh, sure.
A lot to Orlando. It's going to bring so much more opportunity to Orlando.
I don't see that. I believe that the best opportunity was when my old buddy who got fired in Notre Dame, George O'Leary, came to the city. We had no UCF little downtown. There were no gigantic parking garages. The Bright House Stadium didn't exist.
Well,
he brought all that here.
I mean, he may have gotten them a stadium, but as far as the expansion of the university, that's done on enrollment. I mean, the University of Central Florida has the largest enrollment for a state university in the state of Florida.
Well, if it was based on that, then they should be bigger than Miami. They should be bigger than FSU.
Now they're working on getting those sports programs up and running. They didn't have a program until I think the 60s or 70s even.
Maybe. I know.
They're a young school compared to UF and FSU. So
I'm sorry, but it takes a while to bust in.
And they're busting in, and that's the point. They're busting in. They're taking names, and they're saying, hey, look at us. Look at us. Last season we talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, get the ball to Taco Fall. He's like 7-something. Have you seen Taco Fall on the basketball team?
His name is Taco.
Taco Fall, man. So you say, get the ball to Taco Fall.
Not what your racist ass is thinking. He's a black dude from Africa.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Because I know what your racist ass is thinking.
So he is. He's like 7.
Well, is Taco going to get to stay in the country when Trump builds his wall?
So he's got a great story, though. He was adopted by a family here in the States.
Yeah.
And he's an engineering major. He's a 4.0 student, and he's going on a full ride from the UCF basketball scholarship. And last year he was a little awkward, but Johnny Dawkins is our new coach, and we know he's of Duke caliber. Worked under Coach K. He could do amazing things. He could do amazing things.
Those Duke fans.
Coach K is the most winning coach in basketball.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey,
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What about Gruden?
Oh, yeah.
$10 million a year.
And he's going to college ball, right?
He's going to no. He's leaving ABC, and he's going to the Oakland Raiders.
He's going back to Oakland.
Right.
Well, when he led his last year there, they took him to the Super Bowl.
No.
It was the year before. No, I think it was the last year because then he came here and he took the Bucks to the Super Bowl.
He did. He took them to the playoffs, but he never got him into the Super Bowl.
I thought he took him into the Super Bowl.
And because he never lost the Super Bowl. He then came to the Bucks.
And then they played Oakland.
And they played Oakland.
Right.
And
which was
Gruden just rubbed that in as hard as he could.
How could they actually think they had a shot when he had just left there?
And he brought some guys with him.
Yeah. But he was all too familiar with the basics of their scheme.
He knew what was coming.
He knew both sides.
He knew what was coming. So John Gruden, $10 million. Now, they say it's a 10-year deal, so he'll make $100 million. Jeez. That's all anybody's saying. $100 million.
That's crazy.
Here's the deal. It's $10 million a year, but it's not all for coaching. He gets, I think, 20% ownership in the team.
Really?
Yes. And that's where his money's going to come in.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether he picked a good time or a bad time to jump the Raiders, but the Raiders are getting ready to leave Oakland.
Right, they're going to Vegas.
Yeah. I couldn't survive as coach. I'd be dead. We have this bet in the locker room, and I had 4 games, and Willie had 3. Coach Doc just found dead right in the middle of downtown.
Belly up.
That's what I would do.
Oh, 3-0 Georgia.
What is that? What's that thing you've been saying?
What?
Dilly dilly.
Dilly. Him and this damn Bud Light commercial. Dilly.
Oh, I've seen that. Oh my God! It just
Dilly dilly.
Stupid.
Every time I see it, and I got a Bud Light in my hand, I get up and I yell, dilly dilly.
What the hell is this dilly crap?
Yeah, I don't know. It's apparently something from the medieval times.
Dilly.
Not the show.
I don't know.
Era.
I just say.
Dilly.
What do you say? Dilly.
That when you go to see the king of this country, you say.
We don't have a king.
Dilly.
Dilly.
Or take him some Bud Light.
You got to do both.
No, okay.
He doesn't drink. We don't have a king. The president doesn't drink.
Well, I'm not even talking about this planet.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything.
Oh, this is a make-believe planet you made up.
This is Scientology planet.
Have you seen that on Hulu yet?
See L. Ron Hubbard.
With Leah
Remini?
Yes, that's really good. I'm like hooked.
I'm picking it up on on the Sling.
Oh, on the Sling? We're getting it on the Hulu.
I'm getting it on the Sling. Yeah.
And I'm really liking it.
Listen, not to just, take this way off track here, but speaking of excellent television programs.
Yes.
Did you see the latest episode of Blacklist?
Yes.
It was not a blacklister. It's what's her name? Liz.
Yeah.
The whole episode's about her. This is probably close to a year after
she was in the coma.
No, counting the coma.
Counting the coma. And
this is like a year from the last episode.
If you haven't caught up with the Blacklist, yes, Tom is dead.
Oh, he is so dead.
He was dead last break.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but this was kind of a her dealing with issues, being put into a situation and coming out because of the situation, coming out to where she mentally feels that she needs to be to go back to work. So there was no blacklister. It was just her little adventure.
Yes.
In the woods. Awesome.
But she's gonna what you missed there
What?
is she's going. She told her pop,
Yeah.
Red,
Yeah.
that she's going to form her own blacklist.
Oh, she's hunting for bear. She's going after these
My friend
chuckleheads.
described it as the adult version of Home Alone with her being Kevin McAllister.
Oh,
Right?
man.
Wasn't that a description of that?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She nailed that one.
She took him to school. I was pissed, though, because they killed the dog.
Yeah, they shouldn't. have
And
did
the cop, the hokey dokey.
Okay, the cop, Colin was a good guy. Stuff like
I
that
was
happens.
a little
But they
skeptical
killed
at first, but then when they killed him, I knew he was okay.
They killed the dog.
Dude, I know. Because the
I
dog would
agree
have barked
with you.
and ran and got help.
Yeah. Well,
but the big thing is, I knew those 4 guys were trouble.
But she did too.
But somebody was behind the killing of her husband. I can tell you who it is right now.
Who?
Who?
What's your guess?
She's going to form a blacklist,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll get hers the same way he got his, but he'll be on the top of the blacklist because in the last episode of last season, before he sat with her and, read, I don't know what he was reading, and then she woke up. They showed her going through therapy and this, and then she took off, and she's going to rejoin her crew. The last year when Red and his other buddies busted into the house to get the bad guys and allegedly save Tom, he pointed a gun at Tom.
right.
And Tom said, no. And that's when he just dropped his hands, walked over him, and fired a shot. So it's going to turn out to be him.
You think so?
Absolutely, positively. But that's going to be the big twist. And he's going to have to work both ends of the angle.
Red is.
He's going to have to keep her from finding out.
He's been doing that for 5 seasons now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Keep her from finding out a whole lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, but now that there's nothing left for him to find out, the game's something new. And she's got to find it out. And then he's got to send her in the direction. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. The wrong way.
Right.
And that's how shows last now 8-9 years. That'll be how they get out of it. They'll get out of it where she'll figure out that it's her father, but he killed the mother of her baby.
The father of her baby, yeah.
And
the baby daddy.
The baby daddy.
Yeah.
You got to watch the Blacklist, people. I'm telling you.
But he never should have crossed her.
It's just the greatest show.
Never should have crossed Red.
And I've watched it since I saw it was first coming on. I've seen it since episode 1. Just phenomenal.
Every episode.
Brilliant.
Is brilliantly written.
Yes.
Thought through. And while the little diabolical problem does end at the end of the 60 minutes, there's another one just ready to go.
Yeah.
Because he's got this list.
And he is so perfect.
He's cool, dude.
Yeah.
The way, he lost his hair.
Yeah.
And, he put on weight.
Yeah.
Do you remember him, Spader?
Yeah.
He was a kid in the 90s that used to do
Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Yeah. All right, man, we got to go.
Is it that time?
Yes.
It is.
I just got here.
It's 9 minutes past.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Jeez. This is why we can't have nice things.
You'll be back.
Time goes by.
You'll be back
so
tomorrow,
fast.
right?
It's a surprise.
Oh, sorry.
This is a surprise. What were you talking about on Facebook when you said you had a crazy ass surprise? Don't you remember? See, now you crazy. Donald Trump's not crazy. We're writing a book about you.
Impeach my ass. Come get it.
And it's called Impeach My Ass.
But while you're impeaching my ass, there'll be no fisting, and we are not pro-rape.
That's correct.
Or pro-molestation or
I just
pro
wanted to
any
bring
of
that
that.
back around.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
Let's go out on a high note here.
go out on a
Yes.
high note.
Yes.
What did you learn today? That's what you learned today. Go watch some football. And welcome back to reality. I know it's a little tough to shake
Reality
the bugs
sucks. That was a movie in the 80s,
That was
too.
a movie, yeah.
out. Well, I thought she was going to have a meltdown there. And just like,
Well,
No,
reality
she's-
does suck.
She's just regular.
reality sucks.
All right, do I have to get the paddles?
Say goodnight, Docky.
Who just says that out of the blue? Somebody that's getting ready to, lose their damn mind. Good night, Doc. Great show. And I can't root for anybody tonight. So
Roll
I root for a tie
Roll Tide.
that'll go so to have to do another game. That's what I'm rooting for.
Roll Tide.
Because eventually, even college football has to have a way to break a tie. Good night, everybody.